My dear, should I go with the red band top hat or the blue?
The red, of course. You always wear the red.
But what if it's going out of season? Fall is quickly approaching, my dear, and I must remain in style. Heaven knows what the mayor would think if it was in vogue.
But you set the trend, my darling. Everyone follows your lead when it comes to fashion.
Right you are, my dear. Right it is. Mother dearest, have you seen a purple hockey stick?
Oh, Georgie, don't tell me you're going to play that dreadful game. I didn't even know you owned a hockey stick.
I don't. I'm borrowing one from Aaron. He said he would teach me how to play defense this afternoon.
Oh dear, George, that game is so violent. Promise me you won't get hurt, will you?
Of course, Mother. I say, dear boy, do be careful. I will, Father. No one can be trusted. There's safety with others, so you must keep your guard up at all times. As well-meaning as they may be, people are not as capable as we geese are, so never leave anything up to chance. I don't know about that. Aaron knows much more about hockey than I do, and never trust anyone else. Yes, Father.
Wonderful! Now, your father and I must be off. I have a hair appointment in less than an hour, and then we have a few errands to run. You be safe, Georgie.
I will, Mother. That's my boy. And remember, we geese are much more capable than anyone else. What if you say, Father? Oh yes, good day, Glenda. I've been expecting you.
Oh, Elton! It's wonderful to see you. Why are we in your house?
My shop flooded with the rain, but it's okay. Otis is fixing it. Shall we begin?
Yes, indeed. I believe the newest trend in Paris is going to be slightly iridescent feathers with a shorter cut on the back.
Oh yes, I've been seeing a lot of that in the new Parisian Parakeet newsletter. As you know, short feathers is my specialty, so there should be no problem at all.
Splendid!
Please take a seat here. Ahem. Yes, Gunther, are you okay? Do you need a glass of water? Oh, no, I'm fine. I just couldn't help but notice that for your iridescent dye shade, you were mixing black, purple, and green. Wouldn't two brighter colors be a better option? Well, it would be if Glenda's feathers were naturally silver. However, the base shade is black and white, and she does have a few silver hairs in there that have come out with older age. We are trying to get rid of those, you see.
I'll have you know, I am quite young for my age.
How dare you call my wife old? I have half a mind to take my business elsewhere. My apologies. That was not my intent. I'm simply saying the colors are correct. Perhaps it'd be better if I start with the cuts and then color afterwards.
Whatever you say.
Of course. You are the stylist. Indeed. May I continue?
Of course. No one's stopping you.
Ahem. Do you need something, Gunther? Oh, no, nothing at all. I just couldn't help but notice you're using an old-fashioned scissors and comb method. Well, Glenda's hair is quite a bit hard to mend sometimes. Would it be better for us to use an electric razor? Sir, I have been cutting hair since I was a tiny little bird. I cut my mother's hair in the same style back in the old traveling days when we couldn't afford haircuts. I know what I'm doing. Now, will you let me do it? Of course. You know what you're doing. You're a very skilled stylist. I just thought my wife would have a rather interesting shaped head, and no one knows it better than I. Please, if you think you can do a better job, be my guest. Well, I
Gunther, please go sit down and let Elton do his job.
Now, dear. We will get you fixed up right up. Clearly, Elton has no idea what he's doing with his hairstyle, and he needs someone who is seeing the fashion firsthand.
Darling, please.
Trust me, my dear. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Remember, no one else is capable of as geese, so we must trust no one.
Of course, darling. Darling, do we really have to eat out today?
Of course, my darling. The world must see a beautiful new haircut.
I really don't think the world needs to see it. I'm a little ashamed Snowden has to see it.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Goose. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Mr. Hank and I have been trying out some new amazing recipes, so today's special is fried barramundi with fries. But I know you guys like to be a little more fancy, so I'll tell you about our new secret special, which is the calamari with rice and beans. Oh yes, good day, dear boy. My wife and I already know what we like to order.
Yes, Aaron, I would like a Caesar salad with anchovies and the teensiest amount of dressing.
Perfect. And for you, sir? Did you get her order down properly? Yes, sir. Caesar salad, anchovies with a small amount of dressing. Alright, just making sure. You never know these days. I would like the shrimp scampi, pulled, the tomatoes, with a garden salad on the side. Alright, wonderful. I'll give these orders back to Mr. Hank and I'll be right back with your hold on, boy. Are you sure you got that down right? Yes, sir. Shrimp scampi with what are those little markings? Those don't look like what I ordered. It's just shorthand, sir. You might not be able to read it, but I assure you Mr. Hank can. So it just helps with getting the orders quicker, writing it out and all. I do say, I do not like not being able to read on your little notepad there. I can write it all out for you, sir, if you really want me to, but it's just going to take a little bit longer for Mr. Hank and I to read. Gunther? Glenda, how wonderful it is to see. I'll be over there in a second.
Hank, I must say the food smells amazing today.
Thank you, ma'am. I try and make sure everything is spick and span for y'all. Mr. Hank, could you read back the geese's order just to confirm I got everything right? Here, I'll hand you a little paper here. Of course I can. Let's see, Glenda got the Caesar salad anchovies with the smallest amount of dressing, and Gunther got the shrimp scampi with no tomatoes and a garden salad on the side.
Perfect, Hank, as always.
Yes, indeed. It was quite right. Well, I think I'll go on back and get these orders started for you. Aaron, if you'd like to accompany to the kitchen, I have something I'd like to show you. Sure thing, Mr. Hank. I think I might just head back there with them, just to make sure our orders are coming along nicely.
Dear, I'm sure they can handle it.
Now, my love. Remember, as capable as they may appear, we geese are much more capable than any other species, and mustn't trust anyone.
If you say so, darling.
What did you want to show me, sir? Oh yes, Aaron. Have you heard of the metric system? The what? It's a system of measurements. Oh, so it's like feet, inches, quarts, and ounces and whatnot. Well, not exactly. You see, the things you have just listed are in the imperial system of measurement, which is primarily used in the United States. It's a good system, but I'm talking about the metric system. Here, come look at my books right here. Well, we went over the measurements for length, but what are the measurements in the metric system for things like flour and milk? I think you'll find this much simpler than our old measuring system. You see, you only need to remember 4 words when using the metric system for measurement and cooking. If measuring volume, you need to remember the liters and milliliters. When measuring weight, you need to remember the words kilograms and grams. I've made a little conversion chart to hang up in the back of the kitchen till we get used to the hang of things. Oh, I see. So 1 cup equals 250 milliliters, and 1 pound equals 450 grams. Exactly. With these more precise numbers, we can get more precise measurements in between a cup and 3/4 of a cup, or 1 pound and 12 ounces. With the metric system, we can weigh out 400 grams of something that we didn't have a measurement name for before. That's really fascinating, Mr. Hank. I'm sure to use that chart anytime you have me cooking anything. I was hoping you like it. I think switching systems will be really effective and alleviate the dining cooking. That's quite the rousing discussion you two are having. Gunther, what are you doing back here? Oh, don't mind me. Just checking on my order. Yes, I have prepped everything and I'm about to get started. I do say, those measurements look quite off. I assure you, they are correct. We are just using a new, more precise system. Well, I don't know about that. I've seen every measuring system out there, and there is none of them that are just that precise. If you would feel better to measure the ingredients yourself, you may. I think I'll do just that. I wouldn't want to leave anything up to chance. We geese are much more capable than others. Wasn't lunch lovely, dear?
My salad seemed a little burnt.
Yes, that was entirely Hank's fault. I told him not to. Do not cook the lettuce, but he would not listen to me.
I've ordered a salad from Hank's Diner all summer, and he's never cooked mine before.
It must be the new French trend. Sounds very interesting.
Oh, Gunther! Glenda! What a pleasant surprise.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. Linda doesn't seem to be around, does she?
Why, she's right in the kitchen. I'm sure she will have a chat with you.
Lovely! Dear, give me a call when you're ready to leave.
Of course, my darling.
So, what do I add the pleasure to this visit?
Yes, well, I've been listening in on your weekly press conferences, and I must say, I'm rather concerned.
Concerned? Oh dear. What might have led you to that conclusion?
Your plan for this town is rather commercial, which is fine. Economic growth is a pleasant idea. But I feel the direction might be in poor taste.
Poor taste? What do you mean, poor taste?
Will you go on and on about boosting tourism? But there's not even a hotel. Where would the tourists go? Certainly not my mansion.
Well, I'm working on raising funds for the space, but...
Not to mention the hustle and the bustle that will bring them to the streets. No. It would destroy the town's atmosphere.
Now, Gunther, as I recall, you and Glenda started as tourists in this very town.
No. It will not do. I will have to take over.
Gunther, I am an elected official of this town. People chose me for this position.
I don't want much consideration. You're the only choice they had.
Only choice they had? I ran by request. Do you think I chose this life? The stress? The running out of... No, I ran out of the goodness of my heart. They could have asked anyone to do it, but I ran. They chose me.
You keep telling yourself that, but nonetheless, I believe this town is being driven by rather unpleasant direction. Unless things change, I will not have this, and take the duties upon myself.
Gunther, I appreciate your feedback, and it'll be duly noted. However, this is my town. I sincerely ask you to let me do my job the way I see fit. This lack of trust of yours has gotten out of control, and I've already heard multiple complaints from most of my citizens about your overbearing nature today. And I ask you kindly to please take a look at yourself in the mirror and get your stuff together now. If you have any more concerns, I ask you, take them up with my secretary. I have some weekly business check-ins to do. Good day.
Well, good day to you too. Glenda and I must be on our way. Lots of packing to do, and all of that with what's our next migration coming up around the corner.
Indeed. Oh, and Gunther, I'm just having a tea party next week. I'll be delighted if you and Glenda could come.
We shall certainly think about it. Go along now, dear.
Well, that was an eventful day.
Indeed, my dear. Have I been too overbearing?
Well, perhaps just a touch.
I just want to make sure that everything is perfect for you and George, and I can't trust others to make good choices as myself.
You're not an expert at everything, darling. You have to trust others to do some things, especially what they've been trained to do.
I suppose you're right. Mother, Father, might I have a block of ice, please?
Oh dear, Georgie, sweetheart, what happened? Are you bleeding? Do we need to call a doctor?
I'll be all right, Mother. It's merely a slight bonk on the head. What has become of your son? Well, as you said, Father, Aaron was going to teach me how to play defense, but I told him I already had figured out it and went to play hockey on the court. But despite his insistent nagging, I told him that we geese are capable, and that we mustn't trust others. And that's when a stray puck hit me in the head.
Oh, my poor darling. You need to rest. Do you want some water? I'll get you some water.
I believe I owe you an apology, son. My advice, well, it meant well, was a bit ill-informed. There are some people you should trust. I was just trying to make you proud, Father. I didn't mean to worry, Mother. No, it's my fault, son. My poor advice is why you're injured, and I'm very proud of you. Thank you, Father. Not trusting anyone leaves you alone and paranoid. I've learned throughout my daily activities that I'm no expert in everything, and I must trust others to do things they say they will. Splendid statement. I have a question, though. What happened to Mother's feathers? Example number 1 of how not trusting others can leave you in a lurch. She's very sensitive about it, so please don't mention it to her, or I will never hear the end of it. Of course not, Father.